going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today's video, we got a couple of pretty big things that I want to go ahead and discuss with you guys. You know, information that not only will help us speculate on what the future of this game is going to look like, especially when it comes to seasons, but we also got some more information about streaks that are going to be coming into Modern Warfare 3, and also some field upgrades, which, surprise, surprise, there's some positive things that are going to be entering Modern Warfare 3 that, you know, are not just things that we've been begging for with Modern Warfare 2, you know? That's completely unacceptable that over half this game is just stuff we begged for, like things like, you know, making the movement a little bit faster, obviously, you know, reload canceling, mini-maps working normally. That's, again, the list goes on. But these are improvements that, you know, from a game that has a good foundation already, these are things that we would like to see on top of a good Call of Duty game. Now, of course, we don't know if Modern Warfare 3 is going to be good or bad, but at the end of the day, these changes, I think, are pretty darn good, and I would not be mad if they come in future titles as well. But, of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and hop into the topic of today's video, if you guys do enjoy what you hear today, and you want to hear some more content revolving around Call of Duty or even X-Defiant, we do tons of stuff over here, guys. We do, you know, live gameplays, commentaries, comparisons, all of the above. If you guys enjoy that stuff, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button. And last but not least, we don't stream on Sundays, so today, obviously no stream, but we will be back on Monday, streaming over on Kick. That actually goes live around 12 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's get straight into this video because I do indeed have a ton of things I have to go ahead and discuss with you guys. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with more of the negatives, things that I'm a tad bit more worried about. Of course, when you read off this tweet, it's going to look positive at first, but I'll tell you why I'm still a tad bit hesitant. As you can see from Modern Warfare 2 OG over on Twitter, we're actually getting spoiled with maps with Modern Warfare 3. All 16 OG Modern Warfare 2 maps at launch, 12 new 6v6 maps in seasons, and 12 other remasters in seasons. Now, the reason I'm a tad bit hesitant with this overall tweet here is because the last one, 12 other remasters in seasons, is just a leak. It's not official just yet, and I don't know how to feel about it, because the first leak was a little bit more reasonable, hearing that we're going to be getting, you know, all the OG Modern Warfare 2 maps. We know that since, you know, basically almost the start of Modern Warfare 2, that literally Modern Warfare 2 was going to be a 2-year, you know, life cycle game, and that Sledgehammer Games was going to make a DLC to the campaign and then drop all of the Modern Warfare 2 maps as a DLC pack, and that's going to help Modern Warfare 2 live on for a second year. Obviously, instead of them doing that, they scrapped it and they're going to sell this game for a full $70 price tag. But this last leak, I'm a bit concerned because I don't know if they're actually going to go ahead and do it. Part of me wants to believe it because if it's only 16 OG Modern Warfare 2 maps at launch, that means if it's 12 new 6v6 maps in season, that means we're going to be getting 2 maps per season, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I'm a tad bit worried about the lifespan of this game. Again, if you look over to something like X-Defiant, you know, it's going to be having 1 map per month, right? Like, every single month, we're going to be getting a brand new map within that game, tons of new weapons, and there's already a ton of base content within the game to even begin with. And yeah, people can argue, well, there's a lot of base content in Modern Warfare, you know, 3 at this point, but they're all OG Modern Warfare 2 maps. They're not new content. And I can always acknowledge that it's not easy to make remasters. It takes work. It's not like they're just copy and pasting. But at the end of the day, when I think of a new game, I think of new stuff, right? Remasters are just, you know, little touches of nostalgia. But I don't want all OG stuff in a brand new full-priced game. It seems kind of like, you know, a ripoff. I mean, other people don't see it this way, but seriously, I mean, I still don't know a game that launched with no new stuff at all, only OG stuff. It's kind of crazy to think about. I mean, even Call of Duty 4 Remastered had a bunch of new content, and I didn't even want that. You know, I want a Call of Duty 4 Remastered to just be Call of Duty 4. That's it. I didn't want any microtransactions, nothing, but they added in loot boxes, tons of DLC weapons. Even that game got new content. And here we are with Modern Warfare 3, and we're getting the base amount of OG maps. Kind of awkward. But if this is true, if these leaks are true, this is going to be outstanding news because this will indeed probably be the most content we will see in a Call of Duty game. If we get 12 other remasters along with 12 new maps per season, that means we will be getting 4 maps per season, which is exactly what we as the community have been asking for ages now. And I don't even care if it's, you know, 2 remasters per each season at this point. As long as we get new content every season as well, I'll be happy. Only 2 new maps a season, that's a problem. But if we get 2 new maps and 2, you know, OG remasters from, let's say, Modern Warfare 3, that'd be great. And they haven't even touched upon that many Modern Warfare 3 maps. Let's be real here. Every single time they remaster maps, they're the most basic maps that you could possibly think of. The stuff that everybody's always going to talk about, the overhyped maps. But what about the I don't want to call them the underground maps, but what about the more less talked about maps? There's so many goated maps in Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2, which is why I'm glad that all of the Modern Warfare 2 maps are getting remastered here, because I don't think a lot of the community is going to enjoy it. I'll be real with you guys. I said it in multiple videos before. I think the community is going to hate a lot of these Modern Warfare 2 maps because I don't know. I feel like a lot of the Call of Duty community nowadays are like Rust people, Nuketown people. They like really small shipment style maps. Modern Warfare 2 did not have a lot of shipment style maps. I'll tell you that much. They were pretty dang big. But still, there's so many hidden gems in these games that haven't been touched upon that I would love to see introduced into the game. So if we can get 16 OG Modern Warfare 2 maps at launch, even though that is kind of a bummer to not have anything new, if we get 4 maps per season, that would be kind of huge, We can talk our crap about this game as much as we want, but that type of content drop is massive, and that would really keep us interested throughout the whole season. It's hard to keep myself interested when I only get, 2 maps, basically, every single season for 6v6, and I gotta wait 4 or 5 seasons down the road to start getting 3 maps. Whoa, whoop-de-doo, 3 maps now. After waiting, like I said, 3, 4, 5 seasons up the road to get that type of content. Until then, it's just 2 maps and the rest of the content is focused on Warzone because we don't matter anymore. So, at the end of the day, if the leaks are true, this is good. If they're not true, then guess what, guys? We are in for a really bad time. A really bad time, because that means we'll only get 2 maps per season, which, dead. It's dead on launch, and nobody's going to stay in 6v6 for that. 6v6, once again, will become a camo grinding mode for Warzone at that point. All right, guys, but next up, like I said, it was some other stuff that, I don't want to say was leaked out. It's real stuff that's in the game, but it hasn't been really talked about, that the Ghost of Hope put a full thread out for us, which I really do appreciate. But as you can see here from the Ghost of Hope, additional information from Modern Warfare 3 that was not revealed on official COD social media, but via content creators. Cutthroat multiplayer game mode, 3v3v3 round-based elimination, signal jammer gear perk, delay explosions from enemy lethal equipment, breach drone lethal drone that flies a straight path until impact of an object or player, mosquito drone streak, drone that dive bombs at enemy players, ACS field upgrade, when thrown down, will capture objectives for you without needing to be in the objective. Has a limited time until expiration. ACS counts as an additional player. So if one player and ACS are both capturing a domination flag, the capture rate will be the same as 2 people. ACS can hack enemy equipment in non-objective game modes. Comm Scrambler, field upgrade, keeps any friendly player within the range of the Scrambler off the radar. And Detector, gear perk, detects when enemy lasers are pointing at you. Basically high alert. Now, again, there's some things that are like, whatever, like Cutthroat. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. It makes me think of that one mode from Vanguard. The elimination mode that they had. What was it called? I can't remember it, man. All these side modes usually die off. I'll be honest. Again, if there was something for 6v6, it might have been cool, but we'll see how this turns out. I'm interested because, I've always loved the OG 2v2, or 3v3 back in Modern Warfare 3, those little, face-off game modes, but this just sounds, again, like, what we had in Vanguard. The signal jammer, which is also something really useful in my personal opinion. I like this gear, or I guess it's perk. It's going to be a perk for you, which delays explosions from enemy lethals. It sounds like, the blast protection, blast shield as a perk, but a little bit different. I'm wondering if we're still going to have blast shield, or if that's going to be replaced out by this. But I think it's going to be, a pick and choose type situation. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's cool, right? Instead of having to worry about taking a bunch of explosives, you could actually delay the explosives that come onto the objective while you're taking it. And at the same time, that could help your teammates a ton, where blast protection or blast shield, that just helps you in general. This would help your whole team. If a grenade or whatever Semtex gets thrown on the B flag and you have 2 people with you, it's going to be delayed because you have that perk on, which means that, that explosion will be delayed for basically everyone around. I like that. Again, being an OBJ player, I love OBJ, and I love streaking up in OBJ. Things like this are very useful because it will make my life 10 trillion times easier. But again, that's not it. It's a lot more cool things. The breach drone, which is a lethal, so it's going to be like in your grenade category. It's going to be a drone that, like I said, flies a straight path until impact. It's kind of like that one character, an X-Defiant, the cleaners that have the little, not the Molotov that they throw down on the ground, but they have that little drone that flies in a straight line. It leaves a trail of fire behind it, and then it explodes on impact on whatever hits. This lethal honestly sounds exactly like that, and I'm starting to wonder if they took inspiration from X-Defiant. I'm really starting to wonder if this whole game took inspiration from X-Defiant. I might have to make a whole separate video about that. After the breach drone, though, the mosquito drone is what I'm really all about. This is basically your hunter-killer drone from BO2. I am so excited to see this make a return. I hope it still sticks in the game, because, man, we have been asking for hunter-killer drones for ages now, and I even said in Modern Warfare 2 when they added in the bomb drones, why don't you add in a wave of bomb drones that just fly around and, take people out? Like, it wouldn't be too obnoxious. It's not like they fly extremely fast, so people would be able to see them coming and they can shoot them and stop them before they get to you. But at the same time, it's still going to be useful. If people are distracted on getting objectives, or, it's going to be a useful tactic. I don't know why they didn't add that in before, but again, Infinity Ward doesn't really bother that much when it comes to creativity in their multiplayer experience 6v6. But hopefully it's not just going to be a mosquito drone as a single drone. Hopefully they have a swarm of them as well, so we can have one or either a swarm just to add some variety to the streaks. I don't want to see the same basic streaks like we always do over and over. I want to see some variety in this one. The next thing is what I was really excited about. Basically, this whole post was all about this one right here, the ACS field upgrade. This is just gorgeous. This is beautiful, in my personal opinion. Again, as an OBJ player, someone who loves to heavily play OBJ, if I'm playing solo, trust me, my whole life is just a living hell, right? Like, it's horrifying, especially playing domination as a solo player. You're going to be capping objectives by yourself all the time, trying to hold down objectives by yourself all the time. But what the ACS field upgrade will do is it captures the objective without you being on it. So if you are by yourself and you need to get a good, head glitch, a good position to be able to hold an angle on it, you could throw the ACS drone, whatever it is, on the objective, and it will cap it for you while you could set up and defend it. And at the same time, you can capture an objective faster by standing on the objective along with your ACS drone. So if you don't want to stay back and defend it, you can literally be on B flag, throw the ACS drone on B flag, and it'll count as 2 people capping it instead of 1, which once again for solo players is a dream come true. It's an absolute dream come true, because objective play is going to be so much better. When I'm stuck with those freaking teammates who only load up domination and hardpoint because they want to sit in the back and try to get nukes, by doing nothing for their team, they'll get like 20, 30 bodies with 0 time on anything, 0 caps. When I get those lobbies, at least I'll have a little something to back me up and assist me so I can feel like we're doing something in the freaking game. And also, it did claim in non-objective game modes that it will act as, like a hacking equipment. So not like a trophy system where it'll explode grenades, but I'm assuming that if maybe they have a trophy system down or whatever it is, it will hack it, and then it'll claim it basically as yours. Then the comm scrambler, which is another cool one. Basically, it's going to keep you and all your friendly players within your range off the radar, which might be pretty cool in like search and destroy, or again, if you are playing with teammates who are actually playing the OBJ. You can use this and actually coordinate some good pushes or some good defensive plays with this bad boy, especially with UAV spam, which we know is all going to be relevant within this game, because I'm pretty positive the score streak system is going to be coming back, which is pretty easy to get UAVs at that point. So this might actually be a pretty useful field upgrade. But from the look of it, it seems like the field upgrades are going to have some variety. It looks like it's counterplay, which I really enjoy. And especially with them removing Dead Silence and putting it in the rightful perk category, we can actually stuff up the field upgrades with good things and not just, ninja. And then, of course, the last one, the detector perk, which, again, I don't really have too much to say. I guess they're replacing high alert. I don't know if high alert's going to be in the game anymore, but now when an enemy laser's pointing at you, that's when it's going to, flash on your screen to know when someone's looking at you. So if someone's not using a laser, maybe it's not. I don't know how this is going to work out. This one's interesting because I don't know if high alert is still going to be in the game or not. We'll see what this is all about. But at the end of the day, some of these things are really good. I have to be honest. There's a lot of stuff that I can say bad about this game, but these things I can't. What can I say bad about that? They're adding in things that are not, core features, core fundamentals that should be in the game, but they're good additions on top of Call of Duty, right? It's not like they're removing something and adding back in. No, they're actually adding something that we haven't seen before, like an ACS field upgrade, that will actually have a positive impact on the Call of Duty flow. Hopefully, again, we'll have, when we can actually test it out and see how it works, maybe we'll see if it's good or bad. But on paper, it sounds glorious, it sounds amazing. And these are the things that we're asking for in COD. We're not asking for you to remove stuff that that are like core fundamentals of COD. No, we're asking you to be creative and think of other things to add on top of it. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm done rambling your guys' ears off. That's all I really have. Again, go down in the comment section, leave your opinions about all this stuff. Again, the maps, what you guys think about that stuff. Do you think it's, true that we're going to be getting 12 more OG remasters along top of the 16 that are coming at launch and the 12 new maps that are going to be coming in season? Do you think that's true, or do you think it's not going to happen? And also, when it comes to these additional features, like, the streaks, the lethals, all the gears and perks, field upgrades, what do you guys think of those? And out of that list, what do you think is your favorite thing of all? But of course, ladies and gentlemen, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a dislike if you hated it. Subscribe, hit that bell so you can be notified on all my videos. I upload every single day at 8 a.m. And of course, I have a link to my Kick channel down in the description of this video. We go live 12 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time every day besides Sundays. But guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.